Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. We're breaking down the week's biggest stories in chips, controversies, and some pretty major comebacks. Let's get right into it.
So here's what's on the docket. We've got a massive chip deal that's totally shaking up the market, a media firestorm with Disney and the FCC at the center, the return of a tech titan, and then two huge leaps into the future of personal tech and transportation. All right, first up, a deal between two longtime rivals that sent shockwaves, and we're talking billions of dollars worth of shockwaves, right through the chip industry.
Okay, so you've got Nvidia and Intel. These two have been fierce competitors for decades. So, what on earth happens when Nvidia turns around and invests $5 billion into Intel? You heard that right. This is way more than just a vote of confidence. It's a huge strategic play that signals a whole new era of collaboration.
And you know who noticed? Wall Street. The market reacted, instantly. The news sent Intel stock through the roof, adding a jaw-dropping $30 billion to its market cap in a single day. That's a massive sign that investors think this could be a real turning point for the company.
So, what's in it for them? Well, for Intel, it's kind of like a lifeline. They get access to Nvidia's world-class graphics tech and a much-needed foot in the door of the AI data center game. And for Nvidia, it's all about flexibility. They can now offer their customers Intel's powerful server processors right alongside their own. It's one of those rare deals where both giants seem to come out on top.
But you know, a deal this big always makes waves. And while Intel and Nvidia are popping the champagne, others might be feeling the heat. Analysts are pointing to some serious competitive pressure for both AMD and ARM. Suddenly, AMD has a supercharged Intel to deal with, and ARM has to watch its main partner, Nvidia, getting real cozy with its biggest rival. It's a game of frenemies, for sure, and the whole board just got reset.
At the end of the day, though, the big takeaway is that this move is seen as a huge boost for the entire US chip industry on the world stage. But when giants make moves this big, they tend to attract a lot of attention. Which brings us perfectly to our next story, where business, politics, and media just collided.
Okay, next up, a political comment made by Jimmy Kimmel that set off an absolutely wild chain of events for his show, and for its parent company, Disney.
And when I say wild, this all went down in about 48 hours. It was unbelievably fast. Kimmel makes his comments on Monday night, then silence until Wednesday morning. That's when the FCC chair, Brendan Carr, suggests regulators could actually punish Disney. A few hours later, Nexstar, a huge owner of local TV stations, says it's pulling the show. And by that evening, Disney itself yanks Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air. Just wow.
And this whole thing has just ignited a massive debate. You've got two camps here. On one side, people are calling it a classic case of cancel culture, aimed at a prominent liberal voice. But on the other side, the FCC chair supporters are saying no, Kimmel misled the public, and that's something that might need regulatory action. It really gets to the heart of the whole media landscape right now.
And you can bet the political response was swift and sharp. Democratic leaders were immediately calling it a corrupt abuse of power. Their argument is that a regulator was basically using threats to try and control what a private company puts on the air, which has a chilling effect on free speech.
So what this really shows us is the insane tightrope these big media companies are walking every single day. They are stuck right in the middle of their creators, government regulators, and a super polarized audience. Like one analyst said, you're pretty much damned if you do and damned if you don't. All right, shifting gears now from a media firestorm to a major corporate comeback. Billionaire co-founder Jack Ma has resurfaced at Alibaba, and he's there to steer the ship through some pretty choppy waters.
It's hard to remember now, but the glory days for this company were, well, glorious. At its peak, Alibaba had an incredible 85% of the market. But now, it's a whole different ballgame. They're in a dogfight with aggressive rivals like JD and Meituan, who are just constantly eating into their market share.
So, to fight back, Ma is reportedly zeroing in on two things. First, re-energizing the company's big push into AI, and second, taking the fight straight to their rivals in e-commerce. And here's the interesting part. He's doing it all while staying completely low-key with no official title. A big change from his old, outspoken style that got him into trouble before.
Speaking of tech giants battling it out for the future, our next story is about a piece of hardware that wants to change how we see the world. Literally. Let's talk about Meta's new smart glasses.
So, here's the first thing you need to know, the price tag. The new Meta Ray-Bans, the ones with a built-in display, are going to set you back $800. That puts them squarely in the premium tech category, which is a big ask for a product that's really the first of its kind.
And that price, of course, raises the $1 million, or I guess $800 question: who are these actually for? Are they for the Ray-Ban faithful who just want a cool upgrade? Or for the tech early adopters who have to have the next big thing? Or is Meta trying to create a whole new audience from scratch?
Okay, this is where the tech gets really cool. It's this fascinating mix of the familiar and the futuristic. It starts with that classic Ray-Ban frame everyone knows, but the magic is a little display that projects a screen right below your eye. And the craziest part? You control it with a wristband that reads the nerve signals in your fingers, so tiny, subtle gestures control what's on the screen. It's straight out of science fiction.
But the hardware is only half the story. The real secret sauce here is the AI. That's what makes these more than just a gadget. We're talking about features like live translation of a conversation happening right in front of you, and even something called conversation focus, which can isolate a single voice in a super loud room. Pretty wild. And for our final story, we're taking another piece of futuristic tech, self-driving cars, and seeing how it's becoming surprisingly normal and, well, cheap.
Get this, $2. That's it. Thanks to a new partnership between Waymo and the transit company Via, folks in a pilot program out in Arizona can get a ride in a self-driving car for just $2. That's the same price as the regular bus, which is incredible. It makes this super advanced tech available to literally everyone. This partnership really is another one of those win-win situations. For Waymo, it's a golden opportunity to reach everyday people, seniors, students, low-income residents who probably weren't going to hail a robotaxi on their own. And for Via, it's all about efficiency. They can use Waymo's self-driving cars to help out during rush hour and make the whole system run a lot smoother. And really, that's what it all comes down to. Like Via's CEO said, the whole point is to bring this advanced tech to people who normally wouldn't have access to it. And that's kind of the thread that ties all of our stories together today. From a multi-billion-dollar chip deal to a $2 robotaxi ride, it's all about the relentless push of AI into every single corner of our lives. The only question is, what's it going to reshape next? If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.